In an effort to be less dependent to the aviation giants of Airbus and Boeing when it comes to aircraft manufacturing, China is producing its own locally made aircraft through a state-run entity called the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China, COMAC for short, with two products, the ARJ-21 regional jet already in service, while it's working on a Airbus A320 and Boeing 737 competitor, the C919. With China rallying the businesses, especially the airlines, to support the locally made aircraft, COMAC has received orders for these jets from the Chinese main airlines, especially the big three, the Air Chinas, China Southern, and China Eastern. Now, one of these airlines, China Eastern, is taking upon a new strategy to integrate these aircraft into its fleet with the formation of a new subsidiary whose fleet of aircraft will be all Chinese-made COMAC aircraft. This airline is Shanghai-based China Eastern, and at a recent event in Shanghai, it unveiled the logo and a depiction of an ARJ-21 aircraft in a new livery under the new brand called OTP Airlines. According to some reports, the name is for 123 in Chinese. And besides the aircraft fleet being all-COMAC aircraft, we don't really know exactly the business model, whether it will be a low-cost airline or full service, or it could be a hybrid one. But in terms of the fleet based on China Eastern's orders of COMAC jets, we could see the airline having around 35 of the ARJ-21s and around 20 of the C919s, with the ARJ-21 set to be delivered by the end of the year. Though this doesn't mean that the airline will actually have its first flights by year's end, so it could have a launch within a year or two. The airline intends to operate routes from the Yangtze River Delta area with flights to destinations in the provinces of Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Anhui, which has a large population and an area that has been described as an affluent part of China. Now, previously it was thought that China Eastern would integrate the COMAC aircraft to its fleet and use them on their MU-coded flights, and it's the first Chinese carrier to announce such move. While the ARJ-21 is already in use by some airlines in China, it hasn't seen any international flights beyond the country, and the C919 has been facing some problems with the manufacturing and engineering of the aircraft. While China will likely be the first country to approve the C919, it could face hurdles with other aviation regulators such as the US FAA, which has a heavy influence on other countries' aircraft certification processes. So to avoid any hassles, it's probably better for China Eastern to keep using the A320s and Boeing 737s in its fleet for short-haul and regional flights, especially to other destinations like Taiwan, Hong Kong, or other parts of Asia. It seems fitting that the destination set would be primarily within China, which, if successful, could build the case for other airlines in other parts of the world to consider the aircraft. Another thing to watch out for is that Shanghai being an important air hub in Asia, especially for China, we could speculate the hub of the airline being at Shanghai's Pudong, which primarily is the international hub, or Hongqiao. And given its focus, I could see this airline having its primary hub at Hongqiao, which is 13 kilometers from the city center and closer to the city compared to Shanghai Pudong. While it could be primarily based at Hongqiao, we could see the airline take advantage of the new slots that could be available with the expansion plans of Shanghai Pudong with the new satellite terminal that was recently opened. While it could be said that the Chinese government and the airlines are even apprehensive with their own aircraft being successful, the primary reason for these aircraft being built has been the ability of the Chinese to build their own commercial aircraft and to be less dependent to Airbus and Boeing, which year in and year out sees China as one of the biggest markets for selling aircraft to. Along with that, we could see this airline cater specifically to Chinese customers, with onboard features and amenities that will be more for Chinese customers versus which probably will make up the majority of the passenger traffic for this airline, unless these flights operated by the COMAC aircraft could be added on code-share partnership agreements with China Eastern's foreign partners, especially the SkyTeam airline partners. Though this would be dependent on the confidence in the aircraft among these airlines. And China Eastern is probably thinking it's best to separate these operations from the mainline MU operations for the time being. This seems like an experiment of China Eastern and wondering if we could see Air China and China Southern, which have also placed orders for the ARJ-21s and the C919s, if they will follow suit with launching their own subsidiaries who will have primarily Chinese aircraft. What are your thoughts on China Eastern's strategy with the COMAC aircraft? Thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates from the aviation and travel scene from the Asia Pacific. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.